That's better. I don't even know if I need that. Hello, everybody. Hello. Say hello when you show up. Let me know you're here. I shouldn't have worn a sweater. Unlike most of the rest of the country, I am very warm. How you doing? Say hello when you get here. You know me, I'm going to do a little song and dance for a wee bit, and then we will get going. The problem with YouTube Live is I can't frame my shot before I go live. So, it's really annoying. 1 second. So my sewing room and all its messy glory. I haven't been in here much. Hello, Francie Joe. Hello, Pat. Hello, Lynette. Hello, Cheryl. How y'all doing? Francie Joe, are you watching 2 presentations at one time? I know you are, because I know that Holly Ann has a fantastic presentation going on right now as well. Maybe I need the light back there, but I don't know. Maybe that's better. Hello, Jean. Hello, Tim. It's good to see you. And hello, Teresa. This is wonderful. And Sue and Francie Joe are double dipping tonight. They're watching. Oh, Tim, are you double dipping too? If you are with, Holly Ann Knight from String and Story, she does the free motion quilting classes that I always recommend. And she has the Guild, which is an online membership. And she has people come in and talk. And she has Kitty Wilkins, Night Quilter, on tonight. I'm going to be talking about the BSR in her class tomorrow, in her Facebook group tomorrow, so that'll be fun. How's everybody doing? It's good to see you. We got 13 people. Okay. Here's where I'd like to start for anybody who's here. Oh, Hank, not now. My sister's cat may come traipse through. Here we go. You'd think he owns the place. So there's Hank. Oh, sorry for that shot. Let me know. Here's what I want to know. Tonight we're talking about this cat. Tonight we're talking about taking your machine embroidery from good to great. So are there hangups that you have with your machine embroidery? Is there something that keeps happening to you? An issue that is, I hear a lot that people have an issue over and over again, and it prevents them from continuing, starting, whatever it may be. So those are the type of questions I want you to think about tonight. We're going to talk about some different ways to improve your machine embroidery. Thank you so much. People are asking about my mom. So for those of you who don't know, last week I went out of town for doctor's appointments. I'll tell y'all. We actually were able to get vaccinated. I don't like to tell a lot of people because I feel bad that I'm starting the vaccination train and other people aren't. But we actually went out of town to get vaccinated through Brad. So we were able to do that. And I was out of town and my mom's appendix started having appendix issues. The one time I've been out of town in how long? I mean, I'm never out of town. I haven't gone anywhere. I don't even go to the store. So I get word that my mom's at urgent care with appendix problems. And then I hear that she has, she's like, well, I'll go to surgery tomorrow. No, 1 a.m. surgery. So I came home, started taking care of her. On Friday, I had a class that I was teaching. Wednesday I had a class that I was teaching, and I was like, I'm at my mom's house. I don't even know what I'm thinking. I can't go live tonight. So, woohoo. So thank you. My mom's doing great. I mean, as great as you can be after such an invasive surgery where they take out an organ that was fully dead. It didn't burst, but was fully dead. So it was very, she's feeling a little more herself these days, but thank you for asking. So Sue said, I'm going to use 505 to baste my fabric to my stabilizer before hooping. Is that a good idea? That is a great idea. Hank. You think, can you please, just while I do my live. All right, y'all. Okay, we're at 5 minutes. If you have joined us, say hello. We have a lot of people here who saying hello. I know, Lynette, what is that? Earlier, he was sleeping on my chair, so I came and kicked the cat off my chair, and he went and laid right back here. I have stuff for classes that I'm doing, and he laid there all laid out, thinking he's hot stuff. I was like, this is so weird. I know, Cheryl. That cat is so catty. My cat is like a lap dog, and that's my sister's cat, and we call him the jungle cat, because his goal in life is to get up here on this bookshelf. He's not made it yet. He's up on every other shelf, but not on that one yet. All right, y'all. So Sue said, I'm going to repeat it one more time because I cut off the beginning part. So I'm going to repeat this and we'll get started. So Sue said, I'm going to use 505 to baste my fabric to my stabilizer before hooping. Is that a good idea? And it is a brilliant idea. An absolutely brilliant idea. I did it here, but the spray based comes apart, so you don't know anymore. Really smart idea. Anytime that I can get this is a great way to kick it off, Sue. It's a great way to kick it off. Anytime you can get your fabric and your stabilizer to move as one, it's going to give you a better result. So if you're using fusibles, if you're using sticky backed stabilizers, if you are using spray based, those are some ways that you can get the fabric and the stabilizer to stay together. With the spray based, it is temporary and it is water soluble, right? So no problems there. This hair of mine. Sorry guys, that's the ADHD talking, but I'm a wild child. What can I say? I'm a wild child, y'all. Just let me live, All right. So ask your questions. Don't be afraid. Ask your questions. We're going to get started. Great way to go. Great way to go. These will not necessarily have some extras I'm going to throw in. Well, actually, one of the extras I was going to throw in was, I don't know where it is. I'm not going to go searching for it. Was fusible woven. Fusible woven is easily the best way to improve your machine embroidery on wovens. So fusible woven, or if fusible woven is not available to you in your area, then something like a Shape Flex from Pellon, a fusible interfacing to the back. It doesn't really act as a stabilizer on its own. You'll still have to stabilize, but that is going to help create some of the best embroidery of your life. You can't do it on knits. It's not going to have the same effect, same wondrous effect. But yeah, fusible woven is one of my major tips for improving your machine embroidery, especially when we talk about, I have a really low cut tank top on. So I'm like, excuse me. Especially when we talk about pillows, wall hangings. It's in this beauty right here. This is a table topper that I just did for Bernina. The blog post is up. So you don't want to necessarily make one for Valentine's Day anymore, but you just go get some of these great quilting designs and make a cute little table topper. I was thinking you could use it as a wall hanging, runner, placemats. You could even do a quilt like this. I gave some instructions on what to do if you wanted to just do a quilt just like this. I got to figure out what we're going to do while you're here, live, or, if you're watching this back later. We probably need to do an embroider along. I would like to do a spring embroider along. Now I'm just throwing this out here. A spring, a summer, and a winter embroider along. Would y'all want to do a quilt? Do you want to do a wall hanging? What kind of things do you want to do for an embroider along? Finished projects type things? Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking, what you would participate in. Let me know what you'd participate in. And Sue, if it's something like this, maybe we should do something just like this, because then if you wanted to take it to quilt size, if you wanted to make a quilt out of it and do some quilt blocks in there. What you thinking? What is everybody else thinking too? I'll think on it and get it scheduled. Okay. Another thing that I talk about a lot. And I'm a broken record. He's now trying to get on a cabinet over here. But there's stuff on that cabinet. Okay. He got up there. Sorry. It totally distracted me. So one of the other things you're going to hear about a lot while you're here, while you're on my email list, in the Facebook group, on the Instagram, anywhere that I am, you're going to hear a lot about proper hooping techniques. I actually just recorded a video. I've recorded a lot of YouTube videos that will just, be real YouTube videos, not just lives. And one is proper hooping. And then I'll do another one that has, the different hooping techniques as well, because I know y'all are interested in that. But proper hooping it's everything. There is a small video already out there in the world. Let's make sure y'all see this blog post. There is already a quick little video. I don't really do a lot of explaining, but you could watch it a couple times and see how... Oh, no, I copied the wrong thing. You could watch it a couple times and see how this goes. Let me read some of these answers since y'all are answering me so kindly. I'm a beginner, so something appropriate absolutely will be beginner friendly. Absolutely. I love the idea of an embroider along, small to start with. And here's the good news. Here's the good news. I don't have the attention span for something too big. So even if there's quilt instructions, I'm not making the quilt, y'all. I am not. So, Tim said, I say something small, then maybe increase the finished product size later. That's it. That's a really good idea. Something small and doable. Too many steps and I might not finish it. Margaret, you're speaking my language. You're speaking my language there as I sit here with this baby quilt that I'm apparently never gonna finish. Susan, I love the embroider along. I think something smaller than a quilt. Let's do it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Sue said, is that the poopy hoopin'? Yes, no more poopy hoopin'. That is what we call improper hooping. Poopy hoopin'. So let's get you. This is the blog post embedded in the blog post. Check out blog post with embroidery, better embroidery tips. Perfect. There we go. And I will pin that. So There's a video embedded in there from Facebook, just my hands, moving really quickly to show you the proper technique. The explaining video will come out as well. No tugging, even if I know a lot of you are taught, and actually, I just saw that there's an embroidery hooping technique that involves pulling your fabric. And I'm going to try it out for you guys. I think I'll make it into a YouTube video of me trying it out. Because I was sitting there like, this person has more experience in embroidery, has been in embroidery longer than I've been alive. So I know I need to trust their experience, but it's different when you're talking industrial embroidery versus hobbyist embroidery. And I want to teach y'all to have success every time. Hello, Tanisha. How are you? Tanisha's here, y'all. It's a great time. Start small. Okay, this is great. I'm really excited. This is great. Okay, we'll do something. I think we're all on the same page. Small but scalable. Because some of you guys are people who will run with something, but I don't want to give you, 30 blocks to embroider. No. So we'll do something we'll do something small but scalable. For sure. Are you going to go over tension and how to prevent loops? I can talk about that for sure, because loops are not loops come in two forms. Loops two ways. Looping on your embroidery is either a small problem, and I don't want you to spend a second more thinking about it, or a huge problem. So I'm guessing if your machine is notorious for it, it's a bigger problem for you. Trying to find my loop and tail wand. One second. Well, I don't remember the last time I used my loop and tail wand, so I don't really know where she blows. Okay, so Margaret, have you seen my video? And it's on here, and it's real blurry and shaky and kind of weird. Girl did her best. I will re-record that coming up here soon because I have a better setup these days. Okay. So there's a loop and tail wand. I did a video about it. And with that loop and tail wand, sorry, I can't sit back up. And with that loop and tail wand, you can pull your loops right out. So if you're getting one or two over your project, don't worry about it. Don't stress it. Keep moving, keep going. If you're getting like so many loops, if you've got 25% of your stitches are loops, I pulled that number out of my hind end. I pulled that number out of my hind end, but roughly 15%, 25%, if a good number of your stitches are looping, then we do have tension issues. And that's where we start to adjust for looping. Sorry guys, my brain tonight is like getting back in the groove of things after being sick. And then after my mom and everything, my brain. When looping occurs, I don't necessarily go straight to checking my tension. I double check my tools first. And that depends on your machine. And if your machine brand tends to have problems with loops or not. Mine don't. I know that it is the wrong needle. It's the wrong thread. It's something like that. There is a tool that I'm using that is no longer working for me. So check your bobbin thread. I'd love to know what bobbin thread you're working with. what kind of needles. I always use, pretty much always use 7511 embroidery needles. Margaret, how many of your stitches are looping? Is it all of them? Is it a lot of them? If it's one or two, we're giving it up. Remember, everybody. Hello, Diana. Oh, and Tanisha said, I'm good. How are you? How's your mom? My mom is good. Mom is good. She started driving again, at least. I mean, knock on wood. I've never had major surgery like that. It's tough, man. Tough, man. Okay. So the looping was a rambling thought process. But let me know. And you know, Diana, this is an interesting thing that I have started to put into my teaching, which is about titanium needles. Now, I use titanium needles. I use them. Titanium needles for Schmetz are going to be the gold embroidery needles. But what? Oh, no, that's not. That's a package that could be thrown out. How nice. What Diana is talking about, oh, it's a little streamer, about not using the titanium needles is that they are made to not break, which sounds great, right? At first, it's like, oh, they'll last longer and they're made to not break. That scares me when my needles break. But your needles should break. Your needles absolutely should break. Because if the needle bends, if something happens funky, and your needle hits the bobbin race or the bobbin case, you want the needle to give out. You want the bobbin race and the bobbin case to win that fight. Because if the needle wins that fight, like it will with a titanium needle, you're sending your machine out of time. Scary thing. 'Tis a scary thing. But, you know, then that's repair money and things like that. Like first off, sending your machine out of time is not the worst thing you can do in the world. If you do it, we will get through it. I just hate it for you because it's money spent to go get it fixed. It's a pain. And exactly, Diana, it is money. It's money. Some people are so devastated that they hurt their baby that they can't even fathom that they did something bad to their machine. That will get fixed. It happens. We all do silly things. It happens. But the money, you don't want to spend money to fix that. You want to spend the money in the store on the embroidery accessories and the fabric and, you know, ice cream, which I just can't stop thinking about tonight. I can't stop thinking about ice cream tonight. And I don't think I'm going to get any because our ice cream place is closing soon. But anyway. So yeah, it's a great place. It's a great point. Diana, it's use at your own risk. And I have started to put that in all of my blog posts and things about, being more careful with it. If you're a nervous Nelly, if you're somebody who is really, you're like, oh no, I won't take that risk. Why would I take that risk? That risk is ridiculous. I won't take it. I will not argue with that. That's a good call. I take the risk. And Bernina does not pay for my repairs. I pay for I would be paying for a repair like that, certainly. So it's a risk I run. And I bet, I was just thinking this the other day as I updated this email sequence. I thought, that's a risk I'm probably going to take until it backfires on me. And then I'm going to be mad and I will stop using titanium needles. But they're not bad to use. It's just use at your own. I mean, arguably they're bad to use. The whole Bernina team uses them. So they also get free repairs if you're using a Bernina machine at Bernina headquarters or in an event or something like that. So yeah. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Diana. So with this 3 tips for better machine embroidery, y'all have probably seen this before because this blog post has been out for a little bit. It came out when I introduced my new Seriously Awesome Embroidery, apparently, which was in November. This has 3 tips in the blog post. Then you download, and there haven't been any updates to the download so far. I'll let you know if that happens. It'll probably happen soon, but I don't think for anything big or anything like that. The download is the same. The blog post has not been edited, but the email sequence has changed a little bit. I updated the email sequence. So you get an additional 3 emails with 3 tips. So if you want to see those, download the guide again. You don't even have to actually download it. Just put your information in the download thing. Hit that you want to resubscribe. You have to resubscribe. You won't start getting my emails twice. You'll just get this email sequence in the weekly newsletters, which I have not sent in a while because I've been all over the place. But if you want to see those, there's 3 additional tips there. So yeah, more tips on making your machine embroidery better. Better. We have proper hooping, not listed here. It might be in the guide, but Sue, that's your name. Sue brought up the fact that basting spray is a really great way to get your fabric and your stabilizer to work as one. It's really great. I was going to come on and talk about fusible woven. I love fusible woven. It always makes your woven fabric, so that's your quilting cottons, your linens, things like cotton lawn and stuff like that. It's going to make them look even better when they're embroidered. So it's really, really nice. I was just teaching a class. And feel free to ask questions if there's things you're having issues with. Margaret, let me know if you can let me know about your setup, and we'll troubleshoot from there. If you're getting looping, you want to double check your needle, your top thread, your bobbin thread, and then tension. So let me know about any of those things. This is an applique. Let me get back to seeing y'all. Oh, hi. Hi, cuties. Diana said again, and you said that while I was talking about ice cream, right? Again. I think these lives make me want ice cream. I don't know. And Lynette said, is there any time you shouldn't use 505 with your stabilizer? Nothing comes to mind. Sometimes 505, and I haven't had this issue, 505 with like an aqua mesh or an aqua film, like wash away stabilizers, sometimes it's just wet enough depending on which one you're using. It's just wet enough to start to degrade that stabilizer. I haven't really had that issue, but it was an issue we had in class once. So somebody else had the issue, and I should have asked what spray base they were using. I didn't think about it. I think it was 505, but so here we have an applique that I did. This applique is a little ragged. Over here on the sides, I did it where I trimmed in the hoop instead of pre-trimming. We're gonna have to do a week all about appliques, huh? Maybe we can do an applique option in the embroider along. Yes. So we can talk about appliques. She's a beauty. I love her. So this is appliqued on there. And one of the most important things, and thank you. This is from OESD. It's one of their cute little, it's like Winter Wonderland or something like that. And it is made to be a block by block quilt. So we just did this in class. I trimmed in the hoop, but I stabilized, I interfaced my applique, right? This yellow. All right. You have to fuse something onto your applique. And when I write that, sometimes I feel like it's kind of obvious, but since I didn't do it, since multiple people have not done it, I know that it's really not that obvious to all of us. So when you're machine embroidering, you want to fuse something on here, like a soft web from OESD, like a fuse and fix applique from OESD. You could even do like a fusible woven that I keep talking about. And there are links for those in that blog post if you need them. But it's going to give you this. This is why I have this pretty finish. That's why everything looks, and I can take it out of the hoop right now because we all know it can look so beautiful in the hoop. And then the second you take it out, it looks ridiculous. Ridiculous. How many times? I can't be the only one, right? Have you unhooped something with embroidery and then gone, I thought it was going so well. It looks horrible. Hi, hi, hi. No trickery of the camera or anything. So she still looks beautiful. Still no puckering. 2 layers of tearaway behind her. And then she is interfaced. She has the fusible on there. Oh, good, Lynette. Lynette said, I think doing applique and an embroider along is a great idea. I think we'll find something that has, I think I'm going to have to get on the hunt and find something that would be a good, you know what we can do for all of my Free Motion Quilting Academy friends? We can do something that will run right into Free Motion. So if you wanted to, you could Free Motion quilt it. Anyway, that's part before the horse. I will find something that uses a couple different techniques. Oh, that's what we'll do. Oh, this is awesome. I'm really excited now. I'm going to have to write that down. I'm going to have to write that down. Sometimes these thoughts are more fleeting than I'd like. So Diana asked what I'm doing with that, and I'm actually not doing anything with it. It is part of a class that I am teaching, a 6-week embroidery class. I don't think anybody in here has taken it. I do this through Pintuck and Pearl right now. Spoiler alert for right now. Get it? It's a 6-week embroidery class. We do all different types of materials, all different types of stabilizer. It is such a fun class. So this week we did cotton quilting, and one of them was applique. And look, she is so ragged around the outside. That was my fault. One of them was applique, and the other was quilting on cotton. 2 ways. So, embroider along. Oh, we call them meals, machine embroider along. So meal, multiple techniques. I'll take notes about what I think about that. Thank you guys. You're always so patient with me. It's so nice of you. I love you all. Was there something else I had to take note of? Okay, it's usually the horizontal stitches that loop, organ needles, size 12. I don't know, what's PD? I'm using organ needles. Are those embroidery needles? I don't know which ones say PD on them. Melissa, I'm so sorry. Are you on the email list? There is an email list, and I can pop that in here. And then you can hit the bell for notifications, but apparently those are iffy at best. So Margaret, I want to know what the PD needles are. Are those embroidery? I'm trying to think what PD would stand for. I'm going to look them up. Organ needles. I recently heard that some people don't like organ needles, and I have. Needles are a great thing to chat about. I love Schmetz. I love organ needles, no problem. But I find it really funny that some people don't like them. I don't know what issues they've had, but I have had issues with other brands. So something you can always test out is, I would say, try out different brands. Full stop. There's a brand, what's the name of it? That's not going to come to me. That is in the recesses of my mind, and we can barely access this area of my mind. So there is a machine needle brand, and I was using them at, Classa? Is that what it is? Klasse, I think, or Klase. And maybe it was a bunch, we got them free from a quilting convention, and they were horrible. They snapped one after the other in the machine. It was so weird. And then I went to another store and they were recommending them. So you got to try them out. So Margaret, do you want me to call you Margaret? Y'all, if you have nicknames, just let me know. I'll try to remember them. Especially right now when we're a smaller group right now. If they're embroidery, and I was trying to find stuff about the organ needles, I can't find that information. If they're embroidery, then we will start to play with tension a little bit at a time. Also, what machine do you have? But don't use top stitching. Don't use top stitching needles unless you are getting through pleather or cork or something like that. Then you can use the top stitching needles. I'm doing a embroidery with cork class with pin tuck and purl. I'm also doing the mug rug class this weekend, key fob one later on, which will be a lot of fun. Margaret, or Jane Doe. Margaret, you can absolutely try if you're in a Bernina, okay, I'll make this more of a specific announcement instead of a very pointed, a general announcement instead of a specific announcement. If you're in a Bernina 7 series, if you're in a Bernina 4 series or a Bernina 5 series and you are embroidering, then you definitely want to, and you might already have this, I might be talking out of turn, but try out the gold bobbin case. Excuse me. I don't have the gold one, so I'm talking out my booty. See, I get Classa needles at Fabricland, big box. Oh, is that your big box? When I'm looking for jeans needles. That is so interesting. So interesting. And I wonder if it's, like I said, I then went to a Bernina dealer who recommended them. So we have a black bobbin case. We have a red bobbin case, which is looser tension. And then we have a gold one. And Margaret says she's using it. So I would make sure you're not using the top stitch needles. Make sure you're using the embroidery needles. And then start to play with your tension. Let's tighten up that tension a little bit. Sounds like you're doing everything right. It could be hooping problems. Hooping. When I talk about proper hooping, so not only can you get puckers, you can also get looping. You can also get improper registration, which is a bummer. And improper registration is when you're fill stitches are here, and then your outline comes out here, and there's a gap, or like there's a circle. There's a circle, and then the circle that's supposed to go around it goes like this, right? Like they don't quite line up. So the registration issues can also be caused by improper hooping. It can cause a ton of issues. It's not just the puckering that can be a problem. It's not just the tugging that's a problem. If you let it be too loose, if you let there be bubbles, if they aren't working as one, yeah. And it could, I would say no, actually, Sue. Sue said, could it be the embroidery file or pattern? Maybe that might be over my purview. Since I don't know much about, I'm a major novice when it comes to digitizing. So in my limited scope of knowledge, meaning nowhere near a professional scope of knowledge, I can limp along quite easily. I don't think so. I think it's some of our tools are letting us down for some reason. 590s, I notice I have to change my tension more. So that makes sense to me that you're in a 590. So play with your tension. Something that is in, jumping out of turn, something that's in the Seriously Awesome Embroidery download is test. And that not only includes, if I was going to put this on a quilt, doing this so that I can test it out and see that everything's going to work well together, see that my paper-backed web is going to be fine with the type of stitches, with the thread, with everything. This is great as a test, but you can also literally just fill a hoop with the letter A with different tiny designs from your machine to test it out and see what's working and what's not working. It's really, really useful. Yeah. Margaret says it's happened. The looping has happened on the one on the machine. So the designs within the machine and on non-OESD patterns. Yeah, it's tools. Play with your tension. So do like a letter A and like stitch it out and play with your tension as you go. Then if you think you have it right, switch your tension, like move it over and try a B and see how the B works, and just play around with your tension. Hoop up some fabric you're fine to play with and test it out. All right. So like I said, in the download, which a lot of you may have, in that free download, I talk about testing. And I used to not test everything. Shocking. I know. I used to not test everything, but I have noticed that my embroidery has improved significantly when I actually test things out. I just found a typo in this blog post. It says it's 3 tips for better machine embroidery. 1, proper hooping. 2, stabilize your machine embroidery applique. 2, know your stabilizers. Whoops, we didn't mean to have 2 twice. So number 3 is know your stabilizers. And when Margaret Nan gave me her setup and said she's using cutaway, that's when I started to go, okay, because if you're using the wrong stabilizer, you can get tension issues even from wrong stabilizers. Like, people do not believe me that it is the be all end all. I had a lot of people when Stabilizer School came out. Oh, look at that beauty. I had a lot of people when Stabilizer School came out say, nah, I'll wait for the next class where you teach me how to embroider. And I was like, well, this class will teach you how to embroider. Unless you really, for a lot of people who want the beginner steps, something is coming out. Something's coming out for that. But stabilizer is everything when it comes to machine embroidery. It can make or break every single project. There's not one right answer. I teach you in stabilizer school, I teach you how to break down the stabilizer that will work best for the project and the stabilizer you want to use. Something that I notice is not in any embroidery education is like your preferences, which really annoys me. Your preferences are monumental. Monumental. So yeah, the next one is know your stabilizers. And I can talk about this till I'm blue in the face. Understanding how each stabilizer works with each fabric is huge. Understanding what a stabilizer is going, if it's going to stay, if it's going to go away, if it's going to degrade over time, if it's going to degrade with needle perforations. It's all confusing and overwhelming until, I mean, so is driving a car, right? So is sewing. Once you get into it, I'm gone. Am I gone for everybody? I think I have internet. Can anybody else see me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, okay. Am I back? Okay. I'm back. Okay. I brought me up, which is really trippy. Don't look too far into the void. Okay. You had to go to the main YouTube page? No. I know it's not just you because when I opened me up, oh, look at Jade. Oh, my little baby. I never see her. When I opened me up, I wasn't on there. So some of us, it's some of us. So yeah, that was just my rant about stabilizers. If there's one thing, you know, I spend a lot of time thinking about y'all and really trying to think of how I can help you and what my goal is here. My goal here is not, I've kind of, and this is a meander, but we'll come back to it. My goal here is not necessarily the projects. Like, I thought for a while that I wanted to be the person to give you all these really creative ways to use embroidery, but that's not what I want. I want to do projects with you. Like I said, add all those different techniques in so that you can learn. I'm here to teach you. And if I've really realized that my major goal is to make sure you understand stabilizers, understand machine embroidery, so that you can feel really confident every time you sit down at the machine. You know it's going to turn out right. This is a place that I have gotten to, and it's kind of cool because none of my projects turned out very well, ever. Some would turn out great, some would turn out okay, some would be like, okay. Some you'd take out of the hoop and go, I'm never showing anybody. But this is what we're going to do here together. And if I could like put my hands on the side of your head and impart any knowledge into your brain, it would be stabilizers. So yeah. Thanks, Diana. Diana says, love you too. I do. I love you guys. And I really want you to be, there's a lot of facets to this. I want you to be sewists who feel confident in everything you do because you're some of the best sewists I know. And that's not me blowing smoke. That's honest to God. You guys are some of the best sewists I know. So I want to make you the best embroiderers I know too, because you can do it. You just need somebody who's there to support you. It's also because there's a serious lack of like no BS. There's a serious lack of no BS education for machine embroidery. And y'all know this is where we're going to be. So on the no BS side. And I'm going to come at it from a sweet and kind perspective that also will tell you that I hate tearaway stabilizers or stop doing that. So did y'all see the upcoming schedule of events? I have a whole month worth of lives in the YouTube. So go check them out because there are some good ones coming up. One of which is I'm really excited about this blog post. It's already starting. I'm already doing work for it, which is a lot for me. But I'm going to take projects like this, do it with two different projects, two different stabilizers, wash them, let you see how it all holds up. Okay. So we're going to do a side-by-side analysis of all these different things. Yes, Francie Joe. This is something I've been working towards. It takes a ton of work on the front end, but I'm so glad to have done it. And I can't promise that I won't slip up sometimes and have it be week to week again, but I'm going to try not to. I'm really going to try not to. Yeah, so Diana, you can go see, and maybe we'll have the link to it. I have a full month. Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does. Let me go get that link. Okay, so know your stabilizers is huge. I mean, I could rant about that. And Stabilizer School is going to be opening back up soon. So I have been talking to people who are in that class on how to improve it and how to make it really useful. I think next time around, there's going to be a live element to it. So that'll be nice. Upcoming live streams. So when you're on YouTube on the desktop, it's a little harder to find on the phone, but on the desktop, you can go to my videos and then there's a little drop down. It says all videos and there's a little drop down that says upcoming live streams. And that's where you can see the full month of them. Yay. Okay. So we have, I was going to read them to you. That's what I'm going to do. So next week, we are going to talk about 3 stabilizers you should be using to break away from tearaway. I'm trying to break those bonds that tearaway has on everybody. So 3 machine embroidery stabilizers you need that aren't tearaway. Then on the 3rd of March, 3/3/21, I'm going to be talking about why I hate tearaway stabilizers. Yeah, that's going to be a full-on rant. Maybe we should do something fun for that one since it's going to be a rant. I don't really drink. Maybe I'll get a milkshake for that one. We can all sit and gab for that one. And then on the 10th, we are going to be talking, it's before and after, same project, different stabilizers. So I'm really excited about that one. I'll do a tea towel with a tearaway and then a tea towel with a cutaway, show you how they look, then wash them both and show you how they look again. And that's going to be a serious stabilizer breakdown. A serious one. Woohoo! Milkshake blizzards. Yeah. Melissa said, I signed up for the first stabilizer class. Oh, and Melissa is actually, Melissa did my 6-week embroidery class that I was just talking about. So I signed up for the first stabilizer class, but was unable to participate. Melissa, the Stabilizer School, so for anybody else who's curious, Stabilizer School is actually online. It's like Be Genius is. Totally online, teach at your own pace, learn at your own pace. So you're able to access that anytime. What I'm thinking about doing is when Stabilizer School launches again, which is launching again March 9th, I believe it is. When it launches again, I think that there will be an element of a couple live Q&As, a couple live classes to hopefully keep people on schedule. I'm happy that you get to do it at your own pace because that's the kind of person I am. I need to do it in my own time. But yeah, some of us like the more interactive stuff. So I cannot figure out what this sound is in my house. What are they doing? Anyway, Yes, Melissa, we're doing another iteration of the 6-week class. I actually have some new handouts that I will send to you because we've updated the course material a little bit. So, so that's wonderful. Melissa said the 6-week class was awesome. I feel that way too. I loved it. I loved it. Diana, you did stabilizer school. Have you completed it? How are you feeling about it? How can I help? I reached out to stabilizer school peeps to be like, how can I help? Because you get all the updated versions of it. So how do I help you learn this stuff? Francie Joe said, most DQs are closed for the season here. What? Don't they know we love ice cream year round? No kidding. No kidding. Winter ice cream. I almost think winter ice cream is kind of, I mean, at least here. Maybe not everywhere. Winter ice cream's better here. In the summer, it's so hot that you're like, I have does anybody want a Lindor truffle? Lindor? Did I call it that? Anyway. I think I finished it. Good, Diana. I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. I'm going to, I believe that anybody who wants to participate live next time who already has stabilizer school will be able to. So I haven't fleshed out these ideas yet, but it's coming. It's coming. So we're at about an hour. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up? So the blog post will really help you there is 13 ideas total on how to get better embroidery. 13 total. If you want to re-get the email sequence that talks about, it is a sequence, so it's like one email per day kind of thing. If you want to re-get the email sequence that talks about the 3 additional tips for better machine embroidery, then you can re-sign up, re-download, like redo the form to get the download. You don't have to do the download. And make sure that you say you want to join the email list. Even if you're already on it, it's okay. It won't add you twice. You will get this email sequence with the tips while also getting my newsletter sequence. So sometimes that happens. It can be a little annoying, but just delete them if they get annoying. Don't unsubscribe or you'll get unsubscribed to everything. It was, what? -12 Celsius this morning. How much is that in Fahrenheit? 12 or 21? That was my dyslexia, wasn't it? 21. In F. Oh, yeah. Not fun. That does not sound fun. That's -6, essentially. Blah. -10 at 6 a.m. here. Oh, no. What temp is it here? I have the window open and it's really nice. I've been kind of sweaty. I just cooked dinner. All this curl and this pieciness is because I cooked dinner and it was so hot. I do all the, I do the dinner cooking here, but it gets warm. It gets so warm. I'm just hanging out for a second to see if anybody has any other questions before we go. I will be back next week. Granted, my mom doesn't pull anything again. It's 65. It feels so good. I'm excited. I'm a little sweaty. It's because there's no air movement. Look at this hair. She's a wild child. Oh, -21. Hello, Noemi. Noemi is in the 6-week class right now. Hello, Noemi. Thank you for doing your drive-by. Oh, Lynette, I saw your question. It just came back into my brain that you asked that question. Lynette said, what is the difference between the 880 and the 880 Plus? And there is different functionality on an 880 Plus, particularly on the embroidery side of life. So you get pinpoint placement, really useful. You get group and ungroup, which means you can break apart your designs. you get, at first they were the only people to have the undo button, but now everybody's got an undo button if your machine is updated. You also get, they brought in new designs. They updated it so your machine can recognize the MIDI hoop, which might have just been in an update as well. But at the time, that was part of the update. Oh, and resequence. That's the other one I'm thinking of. So if I want this to embroider first, then this, I can change them and change the sequence of things that stitch out. So there's a lot of things like that. Do you have an 880 plus, Lynette? Is yours a plus or not a plus? So this machine is a 790. I bought this baby when I first started at the quilt shop. So we've been together 6 years now. Wow. Wow. I love you, 790. You're my baby. And then the 880 came as a plus. So it says 880 plus on the front. Oh, yeah, I should have known that you do because you've been in my classes and we've done pinpoint placement with you. So I was able to get an update for this one to update it and make it a plus machine. But before that, it didn't have that functionality. Just that guy did. So, yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. I don't want any of your snow. You know, this is as much as I want snow. I would love a snowy weekend. Like, I would be happy to move to a place where it was snowy you got like a snowy weekend here and there, and that was it. But I don't want to go back to Colorado because I don't want to shovel snow. I'm kind of a wuss now. Yeah, keep the snow away. That's how I feel too. I'm like, I like this weather. If it could be between 60 and 75 all the time, maybe some cold nights where it dips into the 50s. I'll go for 40s if I have to, but yeah. Thank you so much, y'all. It was so good to see you virtually. I missed you. I love you. Go have a good time. I don't have ice cream, but maybe we'll go to a DQ. We do have a DQ nearby. So love you. See you next week at 8. I am live on Instagram on Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So I might see you then if you want to join me then. That is a Q&A. I will be embroidering. I'll be hanging out. So I'll see you Monday for the Q&A. I love ya. Goodbye. Bye. Thank you. Y'all have a great week till we're all back together again too. Yes. Yes. I won't tell that you skipped class, Sue. What time on Instagram? It is Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. That is so that I can have time to slink out of bed and do whatever. May have makeup on, may not. You know, Kate stuff. Yeah. All right. Bye, guys. Love you. Bye.